Hey everyone, I'm Purple Turtle, and this is episode 2 of our Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky blind playthrough. In the first episode, we just did all of the opening information and exploring a little bit of Rolent City. In this one, we're going to pick up exactly where we left off. I'm about to enter the Bracer Guild to do the final training test today with Estelle and Joshua. There you two are. Good morning, Estelle. Good morning, Joshua. Morning, Ina. Good morning. Is Shira here already? Yes, she's waiting for you upstairs. Once you finish today's training, you'll finally be recognized as members of the Bracer Guild. Good luck to the both of you. Thanks. We'll do our best. Okay, nothing else I can poke down here. I guess we'll go upstairs. A star and the hanged man. That's not good. The hermit and the magician. And last of all, inversion through the wheel of fortune. This is a difficult combination, but how should I interpret this? Good morning, Shira. Well, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua. This is a rare occasion for the both of you to show up so early. Since it's my last day of training, I figured, why not? I'm ready to get this show on the road and become a bracer myself. I'll give you credit for your enthusiasm, but I'm going to work you hard today in every way I can think of to make sure that high-spirited attitude of yours holds up. I hope you're ready. I can feel that enthusiasm dropping already. Quiet, you. Every time I teach you something, you somehow manage to forget it. This training is my way of trying to keep some of that information in your head, instead of letting it dribble out your ears like it usually does. Wah, Joshua, Shira's picking on me. Don't worry, Shira. While Estelle may hate studying and rarely ever does her homework, acts rashly, is overly naive, and has a tendency to stick her nose into everything, her instincts are sharp, so I'm sure she'll pick up on how to use an orbment with some practice. Eventually. Probably. I guess there's not much I can do now except hope for the best. Hold on a sec, Joshua. Somehow I get the feeling that you weren't standing up for me. Well, that's odd. I'm positive I described all your best traits accurately. Whatever. By the way, Shira, what were you trying to predict with your tarot cards? Your face was really intent. Oh, this? I was just trying to get a vague reading about what might happen in the near future. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have been in the right mindset to interpret the cards correctly. You couldn't read the cards? Now that's surprising to hear. Actually, the more profound the meaning of the cards, the more difficult they become to interpret. That makes sense, I guess. But that's not important now. I think it's time we start your final training. Alright, this will be fun. I'll give you a brief rundown of all the information we've covered in your previous training. This is a minimal level of knowledge that bracers should have in order to function effectively. And Estelle, make sure you pay especially close attention to what I'm going to say. Yeah. Ooh, okay, this is going to be important. What would you like to know about? About orbments. Orbments are mechanical devices which operate by using what is known as orbal energy. A variety of effects can be produced depending on their structure and the type of quartz, or processed septium, installed. Although it's only been about 50 years since their invention, these devices play an integral role in all facets of life, from lights, heaters, and other everyday products, to weapons, magic, and even airships. In connection, this technological reform is commonly known as the Orbal Revolution. Let's do about bracers. Bracers are investigative and combat specialists who work to protect civilians and maintain the stability of their respective regions. They aid the community in various ways, such as exterminating monsters, preventing crime, finding lost items, and escorting people and goods. The Bracer Guild, which has established branches across the continent, manages the affairs of the Bracers in each region. Okay, and then Liberal Kingdom. The Kingdom of Liberal, in which we live, sits on the western half of the Zemirian continent and abounds with nature and deep-rooted traditions. Liberal is proud to be one of the leading producers of septium on the continent and is known for its high level of technology used to develop orbments. Orbment technology has also been a key pillar of support for Liberal in protecting its independence as it has contended with neighboring nations. 10 years ago, when Liberal was invaded by the Erebonian Empire, it was the use of orbital-powered airships that saved the kingdom from defeat. Consequently, even now, our relationship with the Empire is somewhat sensitive, but thanks to the Queen's political finesse, Liberal enjoys peace. Let's see, since we've got a mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you off the hook this time with a condensed review. Does anybody know the time difference between this and Cold Steel? I don't remember in Cold Steel 1 like how many years it's been since the Orbital Revolution. I want to say it's quite a ways after this one, but I'm not sure. If you happen to know that, you can drop it in the comments below. I'm going to speed things up now and move on to the practical portion of your training. Shira? How is today's practical training any different from the training we've done before? Since it's practical, that means you will be experiencing things firsthand. Therefore, I'm going to have the both of you run through everything as if this were a real bracer job. So what you're saying is, there won't be any studying at a desk involved? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. This time you'll have to go out and make a physical effort to accomplish your task. Yes, that's seriously just what the doctor ordered. I didn't know what I was going to do if I had to sit another day with my tush parked at a desk. I guess I got all worried for nothing. Well, suddenly you're all bright and cheerful, Estelle. Let's just hope that smile on your face lasts until the end of today's training. Okay, let's get cracking on your first objective, shall we? Let's have at it. Your first objective will be to confirm the details of the job you will be performing. But before that, there's something that we need to give the both of you. Aina, are they ready? Yes, they are. Alright, you two, go get one for each of yourselves. Go get one what? What are we getting? These are very important, so make sure not to lose them. Bracer notebook, okay. Bracer notebooks serve as the official way to record the status of your current jobs. Also, anything you may hear or anything that you may find, and where these kinds of trivial things can often become clues. No matter how insignificant something may seem, always write it down. Understood. Crap, this sounds like it's going to be a pain. Oh? Please tell me it was my ears playing tricks on me, because I swear I only got one response. I'm sure there were two. Keeping an accurate account of events is an important duty for all bracers. So, get with the program and stop trying to make this out to be more than it really is, Estelle. Okay, I got it. Make sure you do. Alright then, let's begin. Look over by the door. You can see that there's a bulletin board standing there. Yes, I tried to examine it already and it wouldn't let me. First, I want you to go and check the job description posted there. When the bulletin board is approached, an exclamation mark will appear. Pressing the OK button will display the job list. By selecting the job names on the list, you can view their details. Okay, pretty standard. Alright, retrieval. The client, Sherazard, pays 500 Mira. This training will involve searching the sewers beneath Rolent and bringing back the contents of a chest. Okay. Details of the job confirmed on the bulletin board and other important events will be automatically recorded in the Bracer Notebook. The Bracer Notebook can be easily found by clicking on the Books tab of the Items menu. It can also be accessed by configuring a Bracer Book shortcut button on the configuration menu. That was kind of a tongue twister. Very good. It looks like you were able to see what was posted without any trouble. Checking this bulletin board is one of the most basic functions a Bracer performs on their job. Checking regularly to see whether or not there are any urgent tasks which need immediate attention is also an important duty for Bracers. Man, all this talk about duty is starting to cramp my style. Sure, there are a lot of rules to follow, but there's an equal level of responsibility in the jobs themselves. I think being a Bracer calls for much more than just someone with a half-hearted attitude. I guess you're right. I'll just have to be more motivated. Is that so? Had a change of heart, have you? You betcha! Well, before all that motivation sneaks off somewhere, let's get to work on your next task. What will we be doing this time? We'll be heading across the street to Mr. Melder's Orbital Factory and learning about how to use its services. He has graciously taken time out of his work schedule to explain things, so make sure to be on your best behavior. Okay. Here is where you will learn how to use an Orbital Factory's services. At an Orbital Factory, you can modify your orbments and synthesize support quartz in order to use Orbital Arts. Arts have a wide range of effects, and if mastered, can be extremely helpful. The Bracer business is a pretty risky occupation, so the Guild has had a long-standing relationship with these Orbital Factories. Anyway, this is about as much as I can explain. I'll leave the technical details to the expert. So, Mr. Melders, if you wouldn't mind taking over from here. No problem, leave everything to me. He looks like an old wizard. So what is it that you would like to know about? Orbments. Orbments are mechanical devices which exhibit an array of effects through the installation of various types of quartz. By definition, that means that lights, airship engines, and so on are also types of orbments. However, the ones we will be discussing today are battle orbments, which enhance the user's physical abilities and make it possible to use magic. Since each orbment is adjusted to match the owner's personal aptitude, the structures for these devices also differ for each owner. Simply put, the shape of the fixed elemental slots and lines which connect them vary. At any rate, that's the layman's explanation. In order to install quartz, you must first have an open slot. By default, the central slot is open, but the other slots must be opened at an Orbital Factory like this. It'll take a fair amount of sepith too. EP, which is needed for magic, will also see a max increase according to the number of open slots. I recommend opening them all as soon as possible. Alright, so this is just general background information for like the entire function of this game. Like all of this is very, very important. Orbital Arts. Simply put, Orbital Arts are magic which can be discharged exclusively through the use of battle orbments. In other words, a number of peculiar effects can be produced by using the orbital energy stored within these mechanical devices. Since Orbital Arts can be a mouthful, they are almost universally referred to as arts. Probably ought to have been called that from the get-go. There are several types of arts, but in order to be able to use them, their corresponding quartz must first be synthesized at an Orbital Factory. Orbments are also set up so that once a particular quartz is installed into a slot, the owner will be able to use those arts. The type of arts one can use also changes depending on the elemental value and the combination of installed quartz. Okay? Basically, if you want to use water arts, all you have to do is install quartz with a water elemental value. In reality, orbments are much more complex than what I have described, but I think this information should suffice for now. Quartz. Quartz are circuits made from sepith. Quartz have a vast number of effects and raise the owner's abilities while simultaneously making it possible for them to use arts. However, you will not be able to harness any of these effects until quartz has been installed into a slot. However, there are also fixed slots in which only a certain type of elemental quartz can be installed. This being the case, when you synthesize a new quartz, be sure to check your orbment and decide where you will be installing it ahead of time. Sepith are fragments of septium, which are dropped by monsters. These are divided into 7 types: earth, water, fire, wind, time, space, and mirage. Okay, I'm familiar with those. That's the same in Cold Steel. Sepith can be exchanged for Mira almost anywhere, but at the Orbital Factory it can be used to synthesize quartz and to open orbment slots in which to install the synthesized quartz. Okay, so that was everything he had. Just a general rundown of how the magic system in this game works. It looks like Mr. Melders has answered all your questions. If there's nothing else, then let's have you both try and use the services here. For that, you're going to need some Sepith. Receive several of each type of elemental Sepith. With that amount, you two should be able to synthesize a few quartz. Now, I want you to begin by first making an elemental quartz that will work with each of your particular orbments. In your case, Estelle, any elemental quartz is okay, but for you, Joshua, it has to be a time elemental quartz. Normally at a shop you would be able to exchange Sepith for Mira, but for this training you will not be able to use this service. Upon approaching the counter, a talk mark will appear. Pressing the OK button will display a list of options. Select Modify or Trade to use the Orbital Factory's services. Oh, good work so far. If you need to use the Orbital Factory, give Freddy a holler over there. Oh, I went to the wrong dude. Whoops. This one. Modify, Trade. So I have 20 of each, so that's actually not very much. Joshua will need that one. But I can do anything. So we'll synthesize HP 1 and Action 1, because that's what he needs. Alright, it looks like you were able to synthesize one. Next, I want you to increase the arts you can use. Now install a quartz into your orbment so that you can use both recovery and attack arts. Quartz can be installed in the orbment screen. The orbment screen can be utilized by selecting the orbment tab in the main menu. Okay, so main menu, orbment. Any of hers are okay, so we're gonna give her HP 1. So that also gives me access to Terror, which is healing, and he can get Action 1. Alright, looks like you've got both recovery and attack arts set up. If you balance your arts out between each other like you've done here, it should make dealing with monsters much easier. Additionally, your Bracer notebooks contain information about which quartz allow you to use which arts. If you'd like to use more powerful arts, check out the Arts and Quartz charts. Arts and Quartz charts, that's hard to say. In your Bracer notebooks and find something that works for you. Alright, our training here is almost finished. Last of all, I'm going to have one of you open a new slot in your orbments. Not both? That's annoying. The more slots you have available to you, the broader range of choices you'll have. Since EP, which is consumed by using arts, can have its max value increased by opening up slots, it would be a good idea to open them all early on. Now I want you to use this Sepith and open a slot on each of your orbments. Oh, okay, they do each get to do one. Go ahead and decide which slots you're going to open. Okay, so Estelle. Oh, it's interesting that it'll actually let you choose which one to do. For hers, it doesn't really matter because they're all quartz are okay for her. She's much more what was I gonna say? I lost track. Customizable, it seems. I see you've managed to open one of your orbment slots, Estelle. Since your central slot is not limited to a particular element, you are free to install any type of quartz you like. This concludes your training here at the Orbital Factory. Now it's time to move on to what you've both been waiting for, the qualification test. Pardon? Did you just say test? You can't honestly tell me that you forgot about the test again, can you? Didn't I remind you just this morning? Now that you mention it, I vaguely remember some sort of talk along those lines at the breakfast table. She really has a memory problem. Sometimes I fear for the future of the Bracer Guild. And humanity. Oh well, no sense in worrying about that now. Let's head over to the testing area. You mean like, now? I don't know if I'm ready for... How about a little yes-yapping and a little more walking? Ooh, Shira's having none of it. Joshua, help me! Mr. Melder's Freddy, thank you for all your help. Don't mention it, and good luck with that test of yours. We'll be rooting for you. I'm going to remember that you left me high and dry like this, Joshua. Joshua's the polite one. All your training has finally come down to this. Your qualification test will begin here. I expect to see you both use what you've learned up to this point. Understood. She's panicking a little bit. What's wrong, Estelle? Shira? What now? I was kind of wondering, but is there not going to be a paper test or something? Oh, did Cassius drop you on your head as a child or something? You just read what it said on the bulletin board not that long ago, right? Yeah, and? And I even made you jot down what you read in your Bracer notebooks. Unless you forgot that too. I'm pretty sure the job listing mentioned searching for and retrieving an item from the sewers. Ringing any bells yet? What a relief! O divine Adios, I give thanks to thee for thy infinite grace in bestowing upon us such wonderful gifts as sewers. That is the weirdest prayer I've ever heard. So what you're really saying is that you thought it was a paper test. No wonder you were acting all crazy back at the Orbital factory. I can already feel the nostalgia. All those horrible days stuck in the classroom are starting to feel like grand memories indeed. I'm really starting to wonder if we'll even be able to graduate at all. What's wrong with you? Why do you have to go and say something like that when I'm trying to reminisce about positive things? Oh. Alright, that's enough jabbering, you two. This is supposed to be a test, so how about the both of you try to at least look a little anxious? Just so you know though, if you do happen to flunk the test, you don't even want to imagine the kind of homework I have in store for the both of you. We'll be fine. Just tell us what you want us to do and let us loose. Well, if you're so confident, then how about proving that you're not just blowing hot air with the results of your test? Anyway, as you both saw on the bulletin board, this test will be a search conducted in Rolent sewers. Your objective is to retrieve the contents of a chest, which has been placed somewhere within that area. The layout of the sewers is extremely simple, so you don't need to worry about getting lost either. However, there are real, living, breathing monsters down there, so if you get careless and let down your guard, you will be sorry. Also, let me give you this before I forget. Okay, so I got Tear Balm and a monster guide. What's this book for? It's called a monster guide, and it's used to record information about monsters and other opponents you meet. Whenever you figure out an enemy's attributes, you should make an immediate note of it in there. Sounds pretty straightforward to me. He who controls the flow of information controls the tide of battle, right? That's exactly what I'm saying. You've really got a good head on your shoulders, Joshua. It gets hard to actually read all this dialogue. I'm so used to having voiceovers in games, I'm already kind of losing my voice having to read it all. That's some pretty useful advice. Thanks for the tip, Shira. We'll put it to good use. Alrighty then, let's get pumped and knock out this test. Let's. Don't forget though, this is an exam. We should make sure we treat it as such. Okay, I'm excited to actually get to exploring and battling. That's been so much information and cutscenes, it's kind of overwhelming. There appears to be a recovery point set up over there. Let's use it if our HP and EP become low before engaging in any further battles. Okay, so that's what a charging station looks like in this one. Orbment charging stations are recovery points set up in dangerous areas. As a recovery point is approached, an exclamation mark will appear and 2 choices will be displayed by pressing the OK button. By selecting the rest option, all HP and EP will be restored. Sounds like a plan to me! Monsters at 12 o'clock. Be careful not to let them take advantage of your blind side. Got it! Monsters cannot be seen from far away. They will become visible as you approach them. The conditions at the start of battle will change depending on how a monster is engaged. Engaging an enemy from behind is advantageous, while being attacked by an enemy from behind is disadvantageous. Makes sense? Battle order bar. Okay. And I don't have arts or crafts at the moment. Attack an enemy. You may also use it to move if you are using a mouse. And click an empty location. The highlighted area indicates the distance a character can move. Selecting a target in this area will move the character to attack. When an enemy is out of range, that icon will appear on your cursor. Selecting an out of range target will move the character as close to it as possible, but no attack will be performed. Ooh. Okay, so he doesn't have arts yet either. So we'll just straight up punch these in the face. That guy's not even attacking. He's just kind of sitting there.
Good to go.
I like that victory music. That was cute. Alright. Got a bunch of sepith and a juicy bone. Okay. Here comes some more! Depending on the enemy, some physical attacks may be ineffective. Let's use arts, not physical attacks. Okay. Arts are effective on enemies that are good at avoiding physical attacks. Arts also make long-range attacks possible, but they require time to be cast. Yeah, I did know that. EP is consumed when arts are used. EP can be recovered by resting at inns, hotels, or by using charge stations and other items like an EP charge. Arts are effective against foes, which are difficult to hit with a weapon, or those on which physical attacks have little effect. It takes time before arts can be cast. Also, EP is consumed when arts are cast. They're doing a really good job of explaining like every detail of this game to the point where it's actually becoming kind of obnoxious because it's repeating itself. All arts have an element. Determine the element most effective against your foe and use it. Okay, so she can use Aqua Bleed. Okay, so that speeds up the flow of time. This one's an actual attack. Oh wow, that was really effective. So is that, okay.
We're good to go.
Okay, I got a crisp onion. Estelle, let's try using crafts this time around. Yeah, this whole thing is just going to be a tutorial, I guess. Since crafts have other effects besides just dealing out damage, they're worth a shot. Crafts have range limits but can be utilized instantly. CP is gained by dealing out or receiving damage during battle. Crafts are character-specific skills which not only deal out damage but also have a broad range of effects. It consumes CP, which is gradually gained by dealing out or receiving damage. Okay, so she can't use Pummel right now? Oh, because that's her S-Craft, okay. But she can use Morale.
Come on.
What does he have? Dual strike. That's pretty effective. His attack is even better though, so we're just gonna straight up punch it in the face.
We're good to go.
Okay, got more juicy bone and a curative horn. Found a reviving balm. The door's rusted and appears to be locked, so I can't go in there yet. Oh, what a surprise! Another creepy thing. Yeah, that's how I feel most of the time. I wish there were an easier way to take care of them. One blow using an S-Craft or S-Break should do the trick for just about any enemy. The catch is our CP has to be at least 100 to pull off one of those moves. I'm surprised they unlocked both of them right away. These devastating attacks can only be unleashed when the CP gauge is above 100. S-Breaks are actions which allow S-Crafts to be immediately unleashed while ignoring the battle order. S-Crafts, which are unleashed as S-Breaks, can be changed by going to Tactics and then set S-Break within the main menu. Okay, so with this, they're both gonna get to use it. These are actions which allow S-Crafts to be immediately unleashed while ignoring the battle order once the CP gauge has reached 0. S-Crafts, which will be used as S-Breaks. Okay, you literally just told me that. You didn't need to tell me that again. Pressing the break button to unleash an S-Break. Okay, now press that button and try unleashing an S-Break. If you're using a keyboard, you may use the 1 through 4 number keys. That doesn't help me, I'm not using a keyboard. We'll use it on that guy. Alright, that was super effective. Which is kind of the whole point, but... Alright, now let's try his.
That's that then. Let's move out.
Okay, is there anything down here? Nope. Because the treasure chest we need is up here. So that's the treasure chest we're after, huh? If we've made it this far, the rest is going to be a piece of cake. Seems like we've got a little breathing room at least. Let's pay close attention to our battle order this time. There should be a number of ways to get more mileage out of our actions. During battle, there are several bonuses which can be allotted to turns. Turn bonuses have the same effect regardless of whether they are allotted to an ally or a foe. Using S-Breaks to ignore the battle order makes it easy to jump in and strip an enemy of their turn bonus. These icons indicate the bonus allotted to the battle order. If a bonus icon appears next to a character's icon, they will receive that bonus. That one heals HP, that one increases Sepith. Okay. We'll just attack that guy. Just punch him in the face, because why not? Ow. I might want to heal him, actually. Yeah, you could use some, health might be good for Joshua here. don't die before that. So it'll take a minute. Oh no, they both attacked her, so that's fine. Alright, so we'll use Soul Blur on these stupid bugs. Okay, so it does actually just miss them. I was kind of wondering why they said they'd be hard to hit with physical. But if it just straight up misses, that makes sense. Oh, I don't have enough CP to do anything. You can use Soul Blur on the bugs. And then I'll have Estelle heal herself. Probably don't even really need to at this point, but I might as well. They're running out of EP though. It's fine. Just slowly make our way over there. It helps that that guy really doesn't do anything. He kind of just sits there.
That's that then. Let's move out.
Got a lot of items there. A small box times 2. That's weird. There's a couple of boxes inside the treasure chest. The fact that there's not just one, but 2 is kind of interesting too. Wonder what's inside. Remember, Estelle, our mission is to search and retrieve only. I'm pretty sure looking inside those boxes doesn't fall under our mission objective. You're no fun at all, Joshua. This has nothing to do with our mission. It's what I like to call good, honest curiosity. You know, we're the only ones down here. We can get away with a teensy-weensy peek, right? If you feel like flunking today's test, then by all means, be my guest. Did you just say the F word? Yep, opening one of those boxes could result in an automatic fail for the both of us. If this were a real job, the contents of those boxes would belong to the client. And as long as they were nothing illegal, we would have no right to open them. I know you're right, Joshua, but I just can't help myself. If you absolutely have to know what's inside, why not ask Miss Shira when we get back? But for now, we need to focus on getting out of here. Alright, alright. I feel like she's just gonna give them to us. Like, it'll probably be our reward for finishing this. Whatever it ends up being. Might as well heal before I walk out. I don't think it'll matter. Probably don't need to, but... Good work, you two. As a rule of training, I'm going to need to confirm the items in your possession. So hand them over. Yep, they're the real deal, alright. I don't see any evidence of tampering either. That was a close one. Yeah, you're lucky Joshua saved your butt. I figured she would try and set us up like that. Congratulations to the both of you. You have successfully passed your qualification test. Yay! You didn't really think something that simple would be a problem for us, did you? So, Shira? What's in those boxes you had us get? That's for me to know and you to find out, after your training is finished. That's enough chit-chat for now, so let's get back to work. You two still have some things left to do. Seriously? But didn't you just say that we passed the test? You still have to learn about how to report the results of your work. I'm aware that you're both tired, but this is no time to shirk your duties. Let's get back to the guild. When is this day going to be over? Oh well, no sense in giving up when the finish line is in sight. Agreed. Seems like we're within reaching distance of our goal. So yeah, there's not going to be that much left. Like, you might as well just do it. Your final training is how to report to the guild. Whenever you finish a job, it is your duty to report the results of your work to the guild. Reporting how you resolved the situation and the steps you took to get there are all part of your job as a bracer. You can report your results to the front desk in each guild branch. And as you already know by now, Ina is in charge here at the Rolent branch. In addition, this is where you will be paid for your work. I look forward to seeing great things from the both of you. Now that we're here, why don't you both go ahead and report the results of today's training? Okay. So literally just talk to her and then hit report. Aww. Received payment. Oh, bracer points. I'm like, what is BP? Current rank is Junior Bracer 9th class. Good job, you two. It seems like you were able to complete your objective without running into any major problems. Another thing to take note of is that depending on how you handle a job, you may see an increase or decrease in the amount of pay you receive. When you report the results of your work to the guild, pay in the form of Mira isn't the only thing you will receive. You will also accumulate points, which are known as BP, bracer points. BP are an indication of your achievements as a bracer. When these points exceed a certain value, you will advance in rank as a bracer and be awarded with a piece of special equipment by the guild. The ranks of a junior bracer start at 9 and go all the way up to 1. Please set your sights on making first rank and work hard. The amount of Mira and BP you receive will also be recorded in your bracer notebooks, so please have a look sometime later on. All that's left to do now is finalize your training. Let's head back upstairs, shall we? I'll talk to you later, Ina. And sorry about putting more work on your plate today than usual. Don't worry about it. Training new bracers is important for the future of the guild. I fully intend to work these two to the bone in any case. To the bone? And knowing Shira, it'll involve the whip. Let me say it again. Good work, you two. You have now officially completed the entire training course. From now on, you will be learning from your own real-world experience. Well then? Sherazard holds out 2 small boxes. Aren't those boxes the ones... In answer to your question, yes, these are the boxes you retrieved during today's test. You seem awfully curious to find out what's inside, Estelle. Are you saying that it's okay if we open them? That's right. Why don't the both of you have a look and see what's inside? Sweet. Alright, let's have a look. Estelle and Joshua open the boxes. Received Junior Bracer Emblem. This crest is... So does this mean that we're... Estelle Bright, Joshua Bright, beginning this day at 1500 hours, you are both hereby appointed as Junior Bracers within the Bracer Guild. From here on, you will work as members of the Bracer Guild to support the livelihood of those around you, defend peace, and uphold justice. Congratulations, you two, and welcome into the fold. Did you hear that, Joshua? We've become members of the Bracer Guild. So I'm a bracer now, huh? I think the realization is only just now beginning to sink in. Come on, Joshua. You should be jumping for joy or running around and screaming at the top of your lungs, like this. Look at us now, world! We did it! I was happy until you made my eardrums bleed. I hate to interrupt the celebrations, Estelle, but I need to take off now. I have some backed up work that needs my immediate attention. We understand. You've been spending a lot of extra hours working with us during this busy time for the guild. Before you head out, Shira, I just wanted to say thanks. Likewise, I appreciate all the trouble you've gone through for us, Shira. Don't mention it. Training new recruits is one of a bracer's many duties. Believe it or not, I was once in your shoes a long time ago when your father Cassius trained me. So that's why you have so much respect for my dad, huh? There's actually much more to it than that, but I'll save that conversation for another day. As for the both of you, work hard to become full-fledged bracers early on so you can help guide those new recruits who come after yourselves. And in time, I hope to see you both become respectable bracers like your father. Anyway, I'll leave you with that thought. I just don't get it. Get what? This is Sherazard, aka the Silver Streak, one of the most skilled young bracers we're talking about. So why is it that she holds Dad in such high esteem? He just seems like nothing more than a no-good middle-aged man who is always out doing who knows what instead of being a father. Oof, she kind of has really low opinion of him, actually. A no-good middle-aged man, huh? From your viewpoint, it doesn't come as a surprise that you would see him in that fashion. Huh? Never mind. Let's hurry and head home. We should let Dad know that we qualified as junior bracers. Right. But first, we need to remember to pick up his newspaper. Hurry up and come on! Wait for me, Luke! Huh? Oh, it's you two. Oh great, it's Estelle. Hi there, Joshua. Okay, you little twerp, what's with the "oh great, it's Estelle" remark? And what's the big hurry? How about telling us where you're headed? You're not thinking about wandering out of town alone, are you? The roads are full of monsters, I hope you know. You're such a pest, Estelle. Don't you know there's no room for girls to be sticking their big fat noses in boys' business? Oof. That's not gonna go over well. Quit acting like you're a bracer, you wannabe. Tisk tisk. How wrong you are, Luke. How incredibly wrong. You're more wrong than a fool who thinks there's better tasting milk in Liberl than the milk that comes from the Purcell farm. What? No way. You're full of it, Estelle. In fact, as of just a few minutes ago, we're qualified to become real bracers. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Real bracers! More like bracers in training, really. Don't think you should be getting on your high horse just yet, Estelle. Now a high pony, on the other hand. Quit being a killjoy. Wow, you two are great. I'm so happy for the both of you. Pat's nice. Luke is a little jerk. Oh, Pat, you're such a good little boy. Unlike that smart aleck and cynical brat you call a friend. This isn't fair. I was supposed to become a bracer first. I can accept that Joshua became a bracer before me, but getting passed by the likes of Estelle? What's the likes of Estelle supposed to mean? Just so you know, you can't even be a bracer until you're 16 years old. Get it? Only mature people allowed. And that means no little kids who are still going to Sunday school. I don't know how I should put this, Estelle, but Sunday school is dying to have you back. You better watch out, Estelle. I'm going to a train at my secret base, and before you know it, I'm going to be a bracer too. Come on, Pat, let's go. Alright, I'm coming. See you later, Estelle. Bye, Joshua. That boy, Luke. He's always trying to pick a fight with me. I wonder if he just plain hates me or something. Rather, I think it's the exact opposite. Yeah, he probably has a crush on her. Little boys are kind of mean like that. What do you mean by that? Don't worry about it. It's just a boy thing. At any rate, what do you think Luke meant when he said secret base? I don't know why, but somehow it makes me a bit curious. I know exactly what you mean. A secret base sounds really intriguing. The pure heart of a young child can be so inspiring at times. That's not really what I meant by curious. Okay, I'm actually going to stop here, guys. It seems like a decent place. We got through all the training, and we are now officially junior bracers. It's exciting. So this is going to be the end of episode 2. In episode 3, we will collect the newspaper for Dad before we head home and see where the rest of the story takes us. I appreciate you guys watching, and if you like what you see, you can drop a sub or leave a comment. You can also check out my Twitch page at twitch.tv/PurpleTurtleGames. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.